You just inherited a house or property. I know emotions are high and family is calling and everyone has an opinion, but most people make one of three fatal mistakes in the first 30 days that could cost them anywhere from 50 to 300 plus $1,000. I've actually seen it hundreds of times. I've been in real estate for 30 years. Today, I'm giving you the exact 5-step inheritance checklist so you can stay calm and actually come out richer and not poorer. Step 1, be calm and pause. You actually have a lot more time than what you think. You're going to go through probate, taxes, attorneys, family matters, etc. Do not list it this week on the market just because your aunt or relative or friend says the market's hot, you got to put it on the market. No, you don't. Put a 60 to 90 day pause, a no decision rule. Tell everybody you're not making a decision for 60 to 90 days. I've got a story, a client who almost sold for $440,000. She ended up with $810,000. Why? Because she waited for about 45, 50 days and did her homework. So the point is, get help. You're not alone. Talk to friends, family, neighbors who went through this, and we'll help you interview 3 local brokers. Here's the criteria. They have to specialize in your exact property type. If you've got a multifamily, if you've got a house, single family, if you've got vacant land, they need to be a land expert. They should have sold at least 20 similar properties of the similar property type in the last 24 months. And they should be able to give you at least 5 client names as references. So if they sold 20 houses in 2 years, they should be able to get you at least 3. 5 references is best. And then tell them up front, I'm interviewing agents. I'm not listing today. Another really good idea is to call a property manager and ask, what would this home rent for today as is, cleaned up? So I don't know if the property you have is local to you or out of state, but if it's not local, you're probably not going to have a good feel for real estate values and rental prices. You've got to get these experts, these professionals to give you that objective price opinion of value. The next step, and this is the big one, step number 3, is you need to study the land, not just the house. So I'm going to jump on my computer here in a moment. I'm going to show you my screen, and we're going to jump on what's called the GIS mapping system. All right, so I'm going to show you how to find your local GIS system, which is going to give you all the information that you need on your property. So you're going to go to the search bar. You're going to type in the city and state of the property that you're looking to inherit. So if you're in, let's say, Florida, you type in Miami, Florida, GIS. There it is right at the top. So if you're in San Antonio, Texas, you'd have GIS there as well. Again, it's right at the top. So all 50 states, everybody has this system. This is what a lot of real estate professionals and engineers use. So I'm going to go to Pierce County GIS application. Sometimes you have to look around to get the right link or click around. All right, so we've got an ortho view. It just shows us the cities and states, or the cities in the zoning within the state. You can click on a background map. So I like to use an aerial hybrid, so it layers the township, and then you can pan around, zoom in. You can find it by panning if you know exactly where it's at, or you can just find the address bar and type it on in. So this one is the public library. I'm going to zoom out, public library in University Place, Washington. And if I click on the radial, it's going to show me tax parcel, address, acreage, land value. You can click on more about my property, and this will show you zoning, critical areas, hazards. You can click on assessor treasurer information here. That'll show you the annual taxes, if there's back taxes due, a lot of information there. The auditor or recorded documents, they should have a recorded death certificate and or other information should be there. You can find as-built, so if you're on septic. So that's a very valuable resource. Some cities call it different than about my property, but basically they're going to give you a parcel map here. And there's different ways to get to this information. So this is just the typical way through GIS. And here's the About My Property. It shows you zoning, moratoriums, recorded documents, easements, acreage, site address, urban growth area, and then natural environmental information, frost depth, archaeological resources, shoreline, snow load, wildland urban interface, and then possible site constraints. This is real important if you're getting raw land, because this is going to tell you if there's any constraints on development. Erosion hazard, fish and wildlife, flood, floodplain, landslide, mine hazard, so on and so forth. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a quick example. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to go to across the bridge here to Gig Harbor, and I'm going to turn on the mapping layers. And this is real important. You can look at this later again, but I'm clicking on some floodways, some wetlands. I want to see the parcel lines. Oh, tax parcels already clicked. Places of interest, utilities. I want to see the sewer lines, sewer service area, main lines. Okay, so if we zoom in, you can see the map is now colorized. I have another video that we go really deep into this GIS system, but you can see originally it was just blue, and then the light bluish green areas kicked in. So there's the blue, these are the actual wetlands, and then the other colors that are going to populate, these are the buffers. So that's real important to know, because if you're inheriting this piece of property, you can see that it's not encumbered by any wetland or wetland buffers. But if you're inheriting this piece of property, it could be different. The use of the land could be different. In a wetland, you see this little stream here, it could meander onto a property and cause buffer issues, which is basically a no-build zone. And this is just triggering a environmental study to see if there's a potential impact there. So lots of information. Check out my website for more information on GIS systems, but that's how you get to the information. And back to the video. Step 4, you want to run the Big 4 option. So the Big 4 is, are you going to sell it as is right now, or are you going to fix it up and then sell it? Are you going to rent it out, or are you going to keep it, move in, and maybe add some rental units to the land? I typically use what I call a decision matrix. I'll just draw it out for you real quick. I just take a sheet of paper. I like to keep things really simple for visual. So I'm making a 4 square. So basically it's fix and sell, rent, keep and move in, or add rentals. It's a piece of scratch paper. And you can put your pros and cons in each quadrant, sleep on it, and then look at it again, update, see how you feel tomorrow and the next day. Do that 3 or 4 or 5 times until you really have it clear in your mind, and run all the scenarios in your mind. If I did this, how would I feel? What would it look like? It's a real important, very simple thing to do. And then step 5, know the hidden value triggers. Most agents will just give you comp sales. Here's my CMA, here's my BPO. Comparable sales of other homes or properties that have listed and sold of similar type and location. You got to look at that report as well. But there's no hidden value triggers in that. Very few brokers dig into the actual highest and best use of the land, because they're not redeveloping. They're just saying there's this existing home, I'm going to sell it based on comps. They're not looking at the highest and best use of the land. So just knowing what you can do with the land, hey, maybe the zoning allows you to split that lot into half. So if you've got an acre lot, maybe you have 2 half-acre lots. That adds a tremendous amount of value. I've seen so many houses in urban areas where there's a house and it has a nice big lot, and there's sidewalks and paved roads. So it's an urban environment. But when I looked up at the plat map, there were 3 little skinny lots there. And it just looked like a nice, comfortable side yard and backyard. That added a tremendous amount of value to that property. Real common in urban lots with high density, and then rural lots, or especially suburban lots. There's a lot of development potential. So those are some of the hidden value triggers, knowing if you can split it, maybe add a mother-in-law apartment, a small rental, a tiny home, maybe 2 of them. That can add $100,000, $200,000, $400,000, literally with doing no work, just looking at the study. As an investor, I've done this many times. I'll look for properties just like that. A real estate agent listed the property and they didn't do the research. I saw it as fair market. They listed it. The seller signed the paperwork. I bought the lot, and I knew there were multiple lots on there. But as the buyer, the investor, it's not my job to tell the seller that they're underselling that property by $200,000. That's just the free market society that we're in, they put it up for sale. It's like you buy a 68 Mustang for $2,500 and you fix it up and sell it for $25,000. So same thing with real estate is find the hidden value there. So scenarios like that, that's why I wrote the book Feasibility First. I've created all these checklists and systems to help people understand what their land is worth. It's 100% free. You can download it right now. It's in the description. It's literally your playbook for this exact situation, and we'll show you all the hidden value triggers. So do these 5 things before you sign a contract and list your property. Step 1, be calm and pause. Take a breath. Step 2 is you want to get some help. Step 3 is study the land, not just the house. I showed you the GIS tutorial on my desktop so you understand how that works, how to access that information. Step 4 is run the big 4 option. Go through those. Step 5 is know those hidden value triggers. Download my feasibility system. There's cheat sheets, and I'm going to give you a bonus. I'm going to add a lot logic rental idea cheat sheet. It's 77 ideas for what you can do with your property. There's so many different ways to generate income off of land. You could remodel the garage, and that could be an office or a studio. You could rent out that studio as a home office, put a mobile home, maybe 2 based on zoning. It might be more valuable to demo the building. But if you like the information that I'm providing, if you do me a favor, just comment inherited and tell me if you want to see more of this type of video. I've got a whole year's worth scheduled, but I want to produce content that is important to you, that you have a problem or a pain that's real estate related. I'm not a dentist. I'm not a doctor. I can't work on airplanes, but I know real estate. I've been doing it for 30 years. So drop me a comment. Really appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.